first person to guess the song correctly and where it's from, you get a prize. Hello, booktube, it's been a while. How have you been? Hey, there's that smile. I've been busy. Things haven't been slow, so I hope that you enjoy this video. So, I keep getting texts from Steve Donahue telling me to make a video. So, I thought I would take a break from work and practicing and things. Things have been a little crazy around here. But I thought I would show you what I've been reading and what I'm still reading, because I just have not had a lot of time to sit down and read as much as I would like. I also have a huge stack of books that I'm working through. But anyway, I finished this, Mozart Starling by Linda Lynn Haupt, which was awesome, you guys. So this is about Mozart, who actually raised a starling, something like that, for 3 years, whose name was Star. So the author, Linda, goes and takes a starling from the wild, basically, and raises it as her own. She names him her Carmen. This is Carmen as a baby. This book sort of made me fall in love with birds. I never thought I would. That's not true. I read H is for Hawk, and that kind of got me like super interested in birds. And this just sort of furthered my interest. There's little Carmen with a broom. Anyway, it's a very interesting book. It dips a little bit into Mozart's life and into Linda's life, and deals a lot with birds, and it gets kind of sciencey, but it also talks a lot about art and music. And there's some really, really gorgeous passages that I will just go ahead and read to you because I marked a bunch of stuff in here. Even more than his poem, this flight of musical fancy was Mozart's truest elegy for his small friend, the commonmost of birds, who could never have known that he was joining with a musical genius in the highest purpose of creative life, to disturb us out of complacency, to show us the wild, imperfect, murmuring harmony of the world we inhabit, to draw our own lives into the song. If you're a fan of music, of Mozart, of birds, of wildlife, of animals, anything like that, I would highly recommend this. Hopefully one day I will actually make a video about it and go into a little more detail, but who knows? The way things are going, we'll see. I'm also slowly but surely still getting through SPQR by Mary Beard. I am almost done. I'm getting there. I've got like 2 chapters left. I really, really am enjoying this. But like I said, just trying to find the time to actually sit down and read a chunk of this is pretty difficult right now. But for those of you that don't know, this is basically a history of ancient Rome. But what I really enjoy about it is she gets really kind of in depth with sort of the the way in which sort of like the random citizens lived. Instead of really focusing on a lot of the emperors, she goes in depth about poverty, about work, about how the rich lived, how what kind of houses they lived in. I'm not doing a very good job. About death, about pregnancy, about things like that. So, if this seems like it'd be interesting, if you are interested at all in Roman history, I think this is probably a good place to start, since this is where I started, and I think that I've got a pretty good grasp of the basics. Here's the next one I'm working through. Oh my gosh. It's really good. I'm really enjoying Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel. This won the Man Booker in 2009. For those of you that don't know, it's about Henry the... Well, no, it's not about Henry VIII. It's about Thomas Cromwell, who became, I guess, sort of Henry VIII's right-hand man. I haven't gotten to that part yet. Henry VIII is still working as a lawyer for Cardinal Wolsey. I've gotten past the 200 mark. I'm really enjoying, obviously, the writing is just amazing and beautiful. I don't think I've given this enough concentration than I should. So I think when I finish it, I will probably reread it eventually at another point. But yeah, I really, really enjoy this. And of course, I will talk about this more when I finish it. But, everyone loves that book. It's amazing. Or so I hear. I'm a little rusty with making videos because it's been a hot minute. This is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. I watched Adam and Memento Mori made a video about this book, which got me really inspired to read it. So I sort of dip in and out of this. There's been some really beautiful days here in my little town, so I sort of sat at the park and took this out and was reading it, which sort of felt very appropriate at the time. Of course, I haven't gotten very far. I've got this really awesome, what do they call these? Olive, these are from Harper, all the Olive editions from Harper. There's a bunch of these that I own. So this is one of them. I just love it. It's really easy to put in my backpack. Yeah, it's just obviously really, really gorgeous writing about Annie Dillard at Tinker Creek, and it's just talking about nature and the natural world and wildlife and insects, and just really poetic and beautiful, beautiful writing. So we're getting through that. And the last thing that I want to try to get to more, maybe I'll read it tonight, is The Garden Party by Catherine Mansfield. This cover was done by the lovely, what's her name? Holly Dunn. She has a YouTube channel, a booktube channel, and I'll link her down below, but she did this beautiful cover for Echo, The Art of the Story. This is, if you don't know, this is just a bunch of short stories by Catherine Mansfield. And it sort of deals with kind of everyday life for different women after World War I. No, yes. The tales are set in her birthplace of New Zealand and England and on the French Riviera. She explores the small yet transformative epiphanies in everyday life and illuminates the unspoken, often misunderstood emotions common to us all. I really enjoyed the title story, The Garden Party, which is about some daughters getting ready to throw a garden party, and one of them, well, I can't really tell you what happens. The big part of the story is kind of a surprise, I guess, and sort of how they deal with that. And you kind of see the dichotomy of kind of higher status and lower status, and things like that. Very interesting, gorgeous, beautiful writing. The first story takes place on the beach with different families all coming together. Really beautiful. So I hope to. There's a lot of stories in here, so hopefully I'll get through these. Obviously, if you've read any of these, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say about these. How are you all doing? I hope you're all well. Sorry it's been a while. Yeah, let me know if you remember what that song is from, and I will send you off a book. Thank you so much for everyone that has subscribed and that have not given up on me and are still around. So thank you. So hope you're all well. What do I usually say at the end of these videos? Please remember to be kind, listen to each other, and read some good